Appreciate all of you hanging out with us. I'm excited for the NCAA tournament to be back, hopefully close to being able to be underway. Want to remind all of you again, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday is the main part of the NCAA tournament. Usually it starts on a Thursday. Don't want you guys wasting a holiday, a vacation day on the Thursday, sitting down on your couch, getting ready for the games, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, this is not actually going on. I also encourage you, free bracket challenge. Everybody on Monday starting to fill out their bracket challenge. You can join Fox Sports Radio's M-Drive $1 Million Bracket Challenge. That's right, the $1 Million Bracket Challenge. You fill out a perfect bracket at foxsportsradio.com. You will win $1 million. You can compete against all of your favorite Fox Sports Radio hosts and fellow listeners out there. Listener in first place, even without a perfect bracket, wins a $1,000 gift card. Second place gets $300, and third place takes home $200. You can fill out your bracket now and get official rules at foxsportsradio.com. It's the Fox Sports Radio M-Drive $1 Million Bracket Challenge. Refind your prime with M-Drive. I told you as we went to break that the thing I was most nervous about in this year's NCAA tournament, I hesitate to even mention it, is what we just saw happen in the NCAA conference tournaments happens in the NCAA tournament itself. We saw Duke, UVA, and Kansas all have to withdraw from their conference tournaments. My biggest concern is that with everybody there in Indianapolis, we are all set for March Madness, and there are COVID positives that explode the bracket and end up creating what in many people's minds will be an illegitimate champion. Now, it's one thing if a 16 seed tests positive for COVID. It's one thing if we miss a play-in game and somebody doesn't have to win that game to advance in. I hesitate to even mention this because I don't want to speak it into existence. But if you had a number one seed, for instance, the Zags are 26-0. You've got Baylor, who has been phenomenal with Scott Drew all year. The Big Ten stalwarts of Michigan and Illinois. If one of your number one seeds, as we get ready for the NCAA tournament, suddenly tests positive for COVID, here's my solution. Just let everybody else play. I know that everybody out there still panics every time there is a positive COVID test, but there has yet to be one example of COVID spreading during an athletic event anywhere in the world. There has yet to be anywhere in America a single athlete that has had a serious negative COVID result in any college or pro sport anywhere in America. I know that everybody out there is like a positive test. We got to shut everything down. But I think the majority of the population out there would feel like the entirety of the NCAA tournament got cheated. And I also don't feel like, again, if you actually look at the factual data, overall, there is not a single college athlete that has had a serious health condition or certainly a death as a result of COVID anywhere in our country. And there hasn't been a single example anywhere in the world in any sport, soccer, basketball, football, you name it, baseball. There hasn't been a COVID infection that crossed from one team to another. So I hope there are none at all. But my goodness, it would destroy, in my mind, the NCAA tournament if one of these top teams that has fought so hard to get to the tournament suddenly had to forfeit and we didn't get the opportunity to watch them actually play. That is my biggest concern as we get ready for the NCAA tournament. And I bet it is Doug Gottlieb's biggest concern as well as he prepares to join us here in just a few minutes to break down the tournament. And then, by the way, we have got Bruce Pearl scheduled to join us in the third hour of this program. I appreciate all of you hanging out with us. If you're curious out there about the overall odds to win the championship, Gonzaga is a massive favorite at 2-1. Then we've got Michigan at 6-1, alongside of Baylor at 6-1, Illinois, the other number one seed, at 7-1. And then we've got a lot of teams that are dropping big odds, right? Iowa 16-1, Houston 18-1, Bama 20-1, Ohio State 25-1. And then there are a lot of even more substantial underdogs as we start to break down the larger universe of what exactly may be happening in this college basketball tournament. So I can't wait to see what is actually going to end up happening, but fingers crossed. I just hope, desperately so, that we don't end up with any kind of situation with a top team having a positive COVID test and getting bounced outside of the NCAA tournament and somebody else stepping up and grabbing it.